Welcome into this Tuesday edition, Blue Sky Live here with you this morning. Chase Parham and Neal McCready, Clark Ford Studio for Mr. McCready over there. Lane Kiffin spoke yesterday. We will discuss that a little bit. Bill Belichick had quite the rough opener for North Carolina with all the stars in attendance yesterday as well. So we hit on those topics and more coming up as the Rebels and Wildcats get going 2:30 Central Time there on Saturday from Lexington. In the meantime, tell you about Blue Sky locations all over the state of Mississippi, up and down I-55 throughout North Mississippi as well. You got lunch specials, and if you got a Blue Sky nearby, you got a Sweet Daddy's probably. They got lunch specials. They got different catering options for you, everything from feeding maybe your family, school in session, kids back up and going after the long weekend today. Let them take care of you. Also got office catering options there. So again, Sweet Daddies can handle whatever size function you need. And again, Neil, we'll tell you about Clark Ford and Amory.
I am Clark Ford is in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for my friend Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours, right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do. That's hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. Corey and the people at Clark Ford, they want to be your car guy. They want to be your truck guy. They'll prove it to you when you make the call. 662-257-1900. Guests will join this week, hopefully, on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi, providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit campbellclinicoxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
Yeah, Neil's going to break down all of North Carolina and TCU from last night. I'll take a break. We'll come back in session 2 of the show, and we'll pick back up from there and talk some Lane Kiffin, as the stream is asking for here this morning. Big Ben, serious question. At what point do we feel bad for Belichick? We don't at all. He's getting paid a lot of money to do a job that he took, and he's probably going to suck at it. I'm not shocked. I did not think it was going to work. I do kind of think it's only going to become more of a train wreck as the year goes on. They were completely outclassed last night. Coaching in the NFL with Tom Brady is not the same thing as coaching in college football without Tom Brady at a school like North Carolina. So no, we don't. We do not feel sorry for Mr. Belichick around these parts. At least I don't.
I told Chase before we got started, I watched 7 to 7 when I moved on to other things. I had a very busy evening. Beyond the Belichick part, which obviously is the headliner because of his time with the Patriots and all that stuff. It's what's wrong with the modern college football game. To expect anyone, Bill Belichick or otherwise, to add 70 new people, a new coaching staff, all that stuff, and then put it together and go play a game and for it to go seamlessly is silly. Gio Lopez goes from being a very effective quarterback at South Alabama to, I guess he'll be one of the first fall guys at UNC. I don't know. That was my bigger initial takeaway, and I wasn't glued to it by any stretch of the imagination, but that was the thing that I kind of thought to myself as I was throwing dinner together for us before we came back up here to move furniture. I just thought, well, when you make that much change, I don't know that anyone anywhere could really make that work all that effectively. There's no continuity at all. I mean, you know what I mean? There's no continuity at all. And so you've got this, why he is a celebrity is beyond me. The guy he looks like a corpse. He has no personality at all, which I realize is part of the gig. It's part of the act. I mean, he's probably all over the spectrums, right? I mean, the guy's. I mean, I don't find him all that appealing personally, But they bring all the people back and they do all that stuff. And it's like, yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to play football. And you have this team that was just cobbled together in the offseason. Like, well, Michael Lombardi did it. Well, okay, but the NFL is not the college game. It's the reason that NFL people aren't hiring college people. And there's a reason college people aren't hiring NFL people. I don't know if you watched Georgia State's offense on Saturday. That was Hugh Jackson. That was not exactly inspirational.
I mean, there's a couple things there. One, he's a celebrity because he's a 6-time Super Bowl champion, and everybody's fascinated with him in that way.
I get that, but I'm just saying. I mean, I think there's evidence now that the Super Bowls belong more to the players than it did to him.
And it was a desperation move hiring him. You got the publicity and the stuff, but there was nothing about that said, oh my God, this is why your program is going to become relevant and awesome at any point, forget day one or otherwise. I mean, they kind of put this on themselves. They let him do all that weird crap where he took the numbers off the jerseys in practice. Like it's become its own cartoon between him and the woman and the whole deal. I mean, I guess that's my point. I don't find him appealing in a lot of ways. I find him in a lot of negative connotations, and kind of enjoyed TCU beating the hell out of him last night, frankly.
He's dating a woman who was 7 years old when he was 41. I mean, we can all do the jokes, but way to go, Bill. Come on. That speaks volumes about the guy. The human being. I mean, for that's 34. That would be me dating a 21-year-old right now.
It would.
If I was dating a 21-year-old woman, what would you think of me right now? Seriously, what would you think? All the guy jokes aside, what would you think? You would think I was a creep. You would think
what's wrong?
You would think something was severely wrong with me. It would speak to a complete lack of maturity. It would speak to a complete lack of empathy. You would think I was a creep because, frankly, I'd be a creep. He's a creep. I'm glad he's losing. I hope he fails miserably. For that reason. Has nothing to do with the football part and all that. I do agree with someone in the thread, by the way. The atmosphere looked like an SEC atmosphere. In case you wondered whether UNC...
excited. They cared. Yeah.
The point is, in case you wonder, could UNC fit into the SEC? Yes. Yes.
I really like their stadium, what they've done with the stadium seats. That remains the future for general admission. If you can get over the fact that it cuts into profits because it shrinks your stadium size.
So what did they do? I'm sorry.
Everything's stadium seats, like a baseball game. Like it's not benches.
Yeah.
So increases comfort. Gives the non-premium seats an advantage. Something. Yeah, I think maybe Baylor did it. If I'm right there, maybe I'm wrong, but they did it. I think it's a good move. There's no doubt about that. No, North Carolina would work in all three sports. There's no doubt.
Someone says it's a 46-year age gap. Is that what it is? I don't know. I thought it was 40.
Okay.
I thought it was 41, but whatever. Same details.
Principle remains either way.
I mean, in my mind, it does. I mean, look, everyone's free to disagree. I mean, it's a free country. If you want to date someone half a century younger than you, and go for it. I mean, it's fine. Whatever. I'm going to judge you, but that doesn't prevent you from doing it. I'm not advocating for you to be locked up unless she's underage, at which point I would advocate for you to be locked up.
SPD and MS3. My dad's about to marry and have a kid with a woman that's a year younger than me. Curious how that dynamic's going. Yeah, benches only in the student section. That's what I thought. I kind of saw him in the corner there. Big Ben said that actually says a lot about her. He's the victim in that relationship.
I mean, it does speak volumes about her, obviously. I mean, there's an obvious angle.
She's not immune to somebody having an opinion on what it means for her. Yes, you're right.
But that doesn't. I find it to be reprehensible. Kind of not. That's not the word. Just I don't know what the word is. I don't find it to be all that attractive. And you know me, I'm not the way to go, Bill guy.
I haven't spent any time on North Carolina message boards, but has the fan base been in on this?
I don't know. I can't speak to that. I mean, I guess it's like one of those, well, let's take a swing at it and see what happens. My guess is that those two sides try to extricate themselves from this fairly quickly.
He will never be an NFL head coach again. That bad boy's over.
Yeah, he's too old.
Robert, did we get lost in the fact that UNC football, lipstick on a pig, can be said here? It doesn't matter who the coach is.
Mac Brown
Don't
won.
exactly have a history.
I don't know that I buy that at all in today's college football. I don't know that tradition matters at all.
But are they willing to, but here's your question to that. Is North Carolina willing to put $25 million into a football program when it has the basketball program it does?
I don't know.
That's the question, though. Like UNC basketball is a huge detriment to UNC football in this era. Just like, frankly, Kentucky is having to figure out what this looks like. Because some of the numbers you hear on basketball go, God, there's no money left.
Well, this is point. Well, I mean, this is number one, there are no rules. So it is all just how much you're willing to do it. Dan Lanning said it out loud yesterday. You know, he said, I'm happy to be at a place that's invested in winning. Talked about money in the pockets. I mean, he's right. It's absolutely right. He said, if you want to be a top 10 program, you have to be invested in winning. He's talking about money to buy players. That is
I'm looking for the exact quote right now.
He was talking about Mike Gundy's comments. Mike Gundy talking about they're not playing the same sport. Lanning properly noted that, well, UT Martin and Oklahoma State weren't playing the same sport. But he's right. I mean, it's all – there were a couple – Lane Kiffin said something fascinating yesterday about recruiting.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. He did.
You know, I mean, it's the – right now, the whole thing is all about money. So the answer to can North Carolina win big in football is, I don't know, how much money do they have and how much are they willing to spend on football? Because if they're willing to spend it on football, then sure. If they're not, no, they're not. There's your answer.
Yeah, Mac went 9-3, but was that with Sam Howell? Is that during the Howell years?
I don't know, but if you had, I mean, if you have the quarterback, it counts.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I mean, Belichick gets credit for having Tom Brady. If he didn't have Tom Brady, he wouldn't have the Super Bowls.
If you want to be a top 10 team in college football, you better be invested in winning, and we spend to win. Some people save to have an excuse for why they don't. Ultimately, he's a great coach. They've done an unbelievable job, but I want to be a team that's competing at the highest level, and we're really fortunate to be in that situation. I can't speak on their situation. I have no idea what they got in their pockets over there. I'm sure UT Martin maybe didn't have as much as them last week, and they played. So we'll let it play out.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Now, where Lanning is completely off the mark is some people save to have an excuse. It's not a freaking excuse. They don't have the freaking money. They would spend it if they had it. I mean, good God.
No, I mean, look, if
I like Lanning like 90% of the time, and then he goes complete football meathead like 10% of the time. Like, just can't.
Well, he is a football coach. Now, I mean, you know, I mean, I know that we put these people on pedestals and celebrate them. A lot of them are not the smartest bulbs in the bank. I mean, just brightest bulbs in the bank. They're not. I mean, they're really good football coaches. They're a lot of them are very one-tracked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but look, in terms of just the literal answer there, he's basically right. No, I mean, Kentucky's not losing in football right now because they're saving the money.
Yeah, God, no.
I mean, that's not it.
Choosing to put it in basketball, sure.
Which is very likely the wise decision there. You know, I mean, all those things are nuanced. You know, I mean, if Kentucky makes a run to the Final Four next year, no one's going to say, literally no one in their fan base is going, man, that's too strong. There will be someone who would. But the overwhelming majority will not be thinking as they go to the Final Four, boy, I sure wish we'd spent more on football right now. I wish we'd taken some of this money and spent it on football. Instead of going 4-8, we could have gone 6-6. Because in today's football, you're either making the playoff or you're not making the playoff, which is why they're trying to expand the playoff. You're either making the playoff or you're not making the playoff. Ask me how I know, man. I was at the Gator Bowl. Ole Miss went 9-3. They ended up won the Gator Bowl. They were 10-3. There were not a lot of people there. A quarter century ago, there would have been 40,000 Ole Miss fans at that game. Had Ole Miss played if Ole Miss plays a playoff game, they'll break records.
It's what did Kenny Dillingham do yesterday?
He made a comment about where they're staying. There's a debate about whether he was taking a shot at the state of Mississippi or whether he was taking a shot at his travel person.
Oh.
Or if he was just trying to be funny. He said they're staying an hour and 15 minutes away because there were no hotels other than casinos that could accommodate them.
I mean, depending on when that thing was scheduled, that is probably accurate.
Yeah, I mean, he might be telling the truth. I mean, I don't know how many. You've got Tupelo. I don't know how many hotels in Tupelo can accommodate. Probably one or two. I don't. Does State travel the night before? Do they go stay in Tupelo?
I don't know. I mean, they definitely could have booked something in Tupelo if they wanted to.
Yeah, and that would have been closer. Other than Tupelo, you'd have to go to what? Birmingham?
I mean, Columbus. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it, but it's there.
Yeah, I didn't know what the hotel situation was in Columbus.
I mean, I don't either, but I'm sure there's hotels.
Well, I mean, for those big football teams, you need big meeting rooms and banquet rooms, and you've got to be able to cater and all that stuff. Unless you're Alabama.
No, but I mean, I guess I'm just a little deaf-eared on that because they could have stayed in Tupelo, and that's what freaking home teams do most of the time, or at least have in the past between State and Ole Miss. So okay, whatever. I guess that's my point. Like he just, I don't know. I like it. Just whatever. That's fine. I'm not really defending it either way. It just doesn't make a ton of sense when you really break it down. I guess.
They're staying in Memphis. Or Birmingham is my guess. My guess is they're staying in Birmingham.
Is that about an hour 15? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, things that people get worked up about. I mean, where Arizona State stays is not on my list. I mean, who knows? There's probably a couple places in Tupelo that could accommodate because Ole Miss used to stay there all the time. Maybe does Ole Miss still travel there the night before games?
I don't think so anymore.
They stay in Oxford.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. That's a thing of the past. Let's see, Landis State has two larger, newer hotels in Starkville, and as Chase said, Tupelo is an option too. Yeah, I'm Dillingham being a little bit whatever there. But whatever. Again, it's one of those deals. I can't get mad at the guy for finally saying something when we get annoyed when they don't say something. So I'll take the weird quote and dissect it and move on. Who cares?
Yeah, no. I mean, it's where sometimes I'm
not even in a weird mood. I'm in a pretty good mood today. It's kind of one of those deals where I just hate the crap quotes, like where you're like, okay, you're doing this simply to pander. I hate the pandering. That's my point. Yeah. Like when you break down the actual quotes here, it's like, okay, but you're.
I sort of gathered that he was taking a shot at his travel guy for screwing it up.
Oh, really?
That's the way I took it, based on what I've read a little bit about it, that he was taking a shot at their travel guy for not properly researching the area. If you told me that a guy that is based in Arizona had never heard of Tupelo, Mississippi before, I would buy it.
Also, literally his job.
Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, his gig, yeah.
I mean, go to Philadelphia, stay at the resort. It's all right. Got a casino. That's not bad there. What's there? The Golden Moon, Silver Star. Which one's still open?
I'm not sure. not my expertise on multiple levels. I'm not exactly.
Give me a breakdown of all the Philadelphia, Mississippi casino options.
I'm not the casino guy. That's not a. I'm not judging those who love casinos. That's fine. They're just not my cup of tea.
I told somebody the other day I have walked in them just being in a location where I've been around them, but and again, yeah, no problem. I mean, I love a casino if I'm in the mood for it, but I have not actually left my house with the intention, the primary intention to go to a casino. It's been at least a decade and probably longer. Maybe a decade and a half at least at this point since I have left to go. Nope, I am going to the casino for leaving right now. Nah. I
I
mean, I've
don't know
like
that.
walked in the Harrah's in New Orleans when I'm just kind of walking through there in some different
Yeah.
places, but
I don't know that I've ever gotten in the car in my entire life with the objective of going to a casino.
oh really?
Yeah. I'm just not a gambler, really. It's not my thing.
Which
And
is
again,
okay.
not judging those who love it. That's perfectly fine. I'm good. It just not doesn't stir my drink
Doesn't stir.
at all. Does nothing
Yeah.
for me.
Okay. Jason. Yeah. Okay. Jason says Golden Moon and Silver Star are still both open. I thought maybe, but for some reason I had one of them maybe closed in my head, so I wasn't sure. Tunica has fallen apart from a casino standpoint, but I guess the two in Philadelphia are still kicking.
Why is the one in Philadelphia making it and the one in Tunica is not? I'm curious.
I don't.
Just socioeconomics.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know. I'm not sure what's exactly happened to the Tunica boom of whenever for years. I mean, more decades for to some extent. There, but it's completely. I mean, just ghost town compared to what it was. People would have better ideas, and then you get they didn't really get the help at all. They Mississippi was trying to help them somewhat with the sports betting, saying you can online sports bet, but only if you're on the premises of a casino with the situation, and that did not do any that did not do much good. Is it still struggling up there? I think the coast is doing pretty well with the casinos.
Do you ever watch uh Hold the Mayo, his Monday red beans and rice thing?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He did it at one of the casinos out of ways one time, and it was funny. That one was funny, and the one where he did it at Piccadilly was
Piccadilly.
hilarious. Yeah, he did that one. It was great. I
Jason
laughed
makes a
so.
good point. Yeah, nowhere near the same tax obligations in some of these places versus others. So there's there's that. Yeah, look, Tunica back in the day was kicking. Yeah, it was number three in the nation behind Atlantic City and Vegas
Really?
for casinos. Oh yeah, no, no, no. Tunica was
Oh,
booming back in the day.
how about that?
I mean, we went in college all the time. We'd leave and go play poker at the casino in college. But I was in college during that like Texas Hold'em poker boom, like the Chris Moneymaker era, where that's just what everybody was doing at that age. You thought you were good, you weren't. Nick said just ordered a Hold the Mayo shirt. Love his videos, hilarious.
Yeah, they're funny. I typically I have not watched the one this week. I typically enjoy them on Monday afternoon. They're sort of a break for me.
Yeah.
I have no idea
All
why
right,
I find it amusing.
we'll talk about Ole Miss after the break, I guess. If we have to, we'll come back and do that in a minute. First, I'll tell you about Chicory Market, chicorymarket.com. Remember to look at those catering orders for next week. It's going to be Arkansas week before you know it. Their deadline is on Friday for those. So take advantage of all their different options under Chef Keith Johnson there at Chicory Market. You can hang out with them. You can get those orders. You can also get orders for Johnson Hill Creamery there as well. So go to Chicory Market, look around, see everything that you have to offer that you can pick up there for the next home game. Again, Arkansas in 2 weeks, but deadline on Friday. So go ahead, knock it out. Don't worry about it next week. Get it out of the way now with chicorymarket.com. You can also book Friday Supper Club. Talked about that yesterday. That's going to be for Arkansas next week as well. You can go to the events page and hook that up from a Johnson Hill Creamery standpoint. Grazing trays, charcuterie trays, sandwiches. They feed 20, 40, 60, whatever you need. So one stop shop there. Find them both, chicorymarket.com.
We're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great people, products, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern 662-429-4429. Oxford locals, Ole Miss families, if you need dry cleaning or laundry done right, Lapel's Dry Cleaning has you covered. Proudly serving the Oxford community since 2016, Lapel's takes care of everything from suits and formal dresses to comforters and everyday laundry. Even better, they offer free pickup and delivery to make life easier. Just call 662-638-3149 to be added to their pickup and delivery route, or visit them at 3010 Old Taylor Road, right across from the Mark Condominiums. Mention Rebels 24/7 or MPW Digital for 50% off your first order. Trust Lapels to keep you looking your best. We're presented by ENT Physicians of North Mississippi as the largest private ENT practice in the state. Their goal is simple: delivering fast, expert, and comprehensive care for patients of all ages with ENT, allergy, sinus, dizziness, balance, and voice-related needs. With same-day or next-day appointments with ENT urgent care for that annoying cough or sore throat, in-office CT scans, and same-day allergy testing, and access to their comprehensive audiology team offering a full range of services from hearing aids and custom hearing protection to potential surgical options, ENT Physicians of North Mississippi are committed to removing barriers to care. They now have new locations in New Albany and Starkville, in addition to Tupelo, Corinth, and more. Get more details at entnorthmississippi.com or call 662-844-6513. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are some of the questions that can only be answered with the personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Seago with Seago Wealth Management specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. Whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting and see what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. Stress out about the Rebels, not your money, at rebelsretire.com. And we're brought to you by Arnett's Fine Jewelry. It's a fourth-generation jeweler located in the old Lamons Jewelry Building on North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. Whatever your jewelry need may be, from jewelry repair to engagement rings, wedding bands, stackable diamonds, genuine stone bands, pearls, color stones, diamond jewelry, and more, they've got it. Great for gifts as well. At Arnett's, they want to be your jeweler.
Podcast brought to you by Horn Legend. HornLegend.com, the place to get all your polos, your quarter zips, your collegiate wear for Ole Miss games or otherwise here this season. They have great options in a number of different fits and styles, including those sports shirts that I'm all about, for a little dressier options. Wore it on Friday, worn it to church here in the last couple of weeks. Got to get more as well, and we get into the winter season, those quarter zips and hoodies. So you have tons of different options there. And please do us a favor when you order from Horn Legend. Use the drop-down tab. Say MPW Digital is where you found them. It would help us out and help you out as well moving forward. So again, that's hornlegend.com.
I made a Horn Legend order yesterday, and it was easy to do the drop-down to MPW.
It's right there. Just boom.
It's right there.
No
Can't
problem.
miss it. Can't miss it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to turn it or anything. It's right there. Just click it.
So, yeah, everybody's talking about when the bars would close, you go to the casino after. That was a bad decision in college or otherwise. Leaving for the casino after the bars close is not the.
Yeah, that's a shaky decision when you break it down logically.
I think it only happened once or twice, but there's not a more sad, oh my God feeling that when you go in the casino at night and you walk out and the sun is up and it hitting you in the eyes when you walk out the door and you're like, oh my God, you're like squinting and getting reacclimated to the outside world. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. I don't recommend it.
I think sometimes you just have to admit that your night at the bar has come to an end. And that means it's time to just call the day a day. That pretty much every decision you might make from that point forward has an exponential chance of going bad.
My weirdest experience in just a how does this happen thing at casino was the one in St. Louis that's kind of down from Busch Stadium. They have a last call of like midnight or 1 a.m. or something at a casino. They did like the light thing or the bell thing or something. The casino had an alcohol last call, and when it hit, it wasn't like, okay, order by now and then finish your drink. They had staff members coming around grabbing the beer out of your hand at the
Oh,
cutoff,
oh wow. Had
like
some laws.
a hard cutoff. Yeah, it was going, of course, it's right down by the Cardinals. What do you expect? That's what you're going to get there in St. Louis when you deal with that.
Said nothing about the Cardinals, nothing about St. Louis. My last time in St. Louis, I was just glad to get back to the hotel after the tournament game ended. I was pleased
Yes.
to be. The guy told me at the arena, you don't need to be walking.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Hmm. So, get into Lane a little from yesterday. Neal completely sabotaged the press conference by asking Kentucky questions on Sunday. So
I
we were
did.
done in like 5 minutes yesterday. It's fine. Yeah,
Well,
it was
look,
done very fast.
we had the Zoom. I'm going to defend myself here. We had the
Oh,
Zoom, and Kyle Campbell said, we're going to wrap up yesterday's game. I really didn't have any questions from Saturday's game, other than I asked about the chain situation, and Lane gave an answer. And in one of his answers, he began to talk about Kentucky. And so I said, well, since you mentioned it, and I asked Kentucky questions, and I got Kentucky answers, the answers that I was looking to get, the questions that I would have asked on Monday. I'm going to be totally transparent here. I'd rather ask those questions on Sunday in a Zoom when there's just a handful of people, typically just the beat writers, who are like me working on stories, not necessarily live tweeting, as opposed to, and I'm not going to say any names, but there are people that are at the Monday press conference who never ask a question, but who are videoing and cutting it and live tweeting it right there. Why should I do their work if I can get the work on a different medium on Sunday night? I got it on Sunday. I turned around and wrote the story on Sunday at 24/7 Sports. It was a good story. Lane was very transparent about that game from a year ago. Bothered him. It resonated with him. I think he said it just sucked. He was very open about it. He talked about how that was a game that he felt like there were so many times that they had it and then they didn't get it. He didn't make excuses. He didn't say Kentucky was lucky or anything like that. He just said it was a tough loss. And so I got what I needed. What was I going to do? Turn around 12 hours later and ask it again? I didn't have anything. And so he gets, and this is not a criticism at all. Going into Lane's press conferences on Monday that if you ask, and he said this yesterday to someone who asked the question, he goes, the answer. Hey, what's the injury status on Luke Haas? We hope he plays.
He always hopes they play.
We hope he plays this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. There are people who take that literally and go, hey, I heard Luke Haas might play this weekend. No, you heard Lane give a standard answer that he would have said about anyone on the roster.
Because he said the exact same thing about Braxton, too.
Yeah. We
who
hope he
was
plays.
held out for medical reasons on Saturday.
Yeah. We hope he plays. He's a good player. So what you're going to get there. And so for me, I told you this before we even got there. I said, I don't even know why I'm going. There's nothing I need. I have what I need. He talked about Kentucky. He gave an answer on Calzada that really wasn't an answer. I guess we didn't really. I've just found that he doesn't really like personnel questions, and so he typically doesn't answer them. I thought he gave a really interesting answer about recruiting. He was asked about, because look, they have a couple of guys that they lost the first time around, Odom and Kewan Lacey. That they didn't get. They didn't get him the first time. They got him the second time. And I thought his answer on this was absolutely fascinating.
The question, yes, was, is it important to maintain relationships with recruits that go elsewhere? How do you, make sure you don't burn bridges, blah, 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 however it was asked. His quote, in this age with the setup and the two windows, it's just how it is. There might be some instances where it's better to be second place coming out. Someone else pays him year one and they don't play as much and come to you in year two. It's just kind of the part of the system we live in. And I feel like we've talked about this a ton. Um, it's it's very true. Finishing second is very critical in today's age. You have some relationships. The kid believes in you or something. I mean, Golding talked about it the one day we talked to Pete. I mean, he said, yeah, you don't burn the bridges and talk about, oh, whatever, whatever. You go, no, 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 holler, grab a beer, it's cool. You know, see you down the road maybe one day.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's schools out there that screw that up. They get so pissed off and emotional through the high school process and go, oh, screw that kid. And instead, you just wish him luck and
Or
send the text and you move on.
or they get so emotional about the recruiting that they overpay.
Yeah.
You have to put a valuation on a player if you're on a budget. There's only so many people that can be the Yankees and the Dodgers. Just whatever. Pay them. Do it. It doesn't matter. Pay them. You're on a budget. And if you put a valuation on a player, you say this player is worth $250,000. Okay? That's what you say this player's worth. And you pay $400,000. Well, yeah, maybe you get the player, but there's $150,000 gone from your budget. And then if that player's not ready, and most high school kids aren't, if that player's not ready, you just cost your roster somewhere else.
Yeah, I love you, Tupelo, but I think it's a hot take. He says finishing second's good for the most part, but last year we make the playoff. We finished first for Kiwan. Kiwan last year was not ready immediately in the same way that
Yeah.
he would be in year two.
Yeah, I mean,
It takes a minute.
I love you, Tupelo, but I disagree completely. I mean, if Kewan Lacey were ready last year, Eli Drinkwitz would have played him.
Yeah, and
I mean, they
he
would have
had
played.
very few carries last year in Missouri.
Yeah, they didn't play him because he wasn't ready. He's had a complete full year in a college system, college weight room. Missouri runs a really good program. They're winning. I mean, the odds of him being ready right out of the gate, out of high school, are slim. A handful are, but not many. Look around the country. So no, I mean, I don't. I think you have to take his answer. This is one of the most interesting parts to me, is that Lane Kiffin is, for the most part, universally loved. Everyone just adores him and just gives him and as they should. I mean, the guy's won at Ole Miss in a way that I don't know how many people thought was possible, and he's done it consistently. But he'll tell you the truth on recruiting, or at least it's his truth. It's what he believes to be the case, and he's very open about it. But that doesn't, and there aren't a whole lot of these people left, but the people that just love the recruiting for the drama of it and the ego of it, the ones who are worked up about how many in-state kids, blah, 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 it's got to be infuriating when he says out loud, essentially, it doesn't really matter. Not going to overpay for a kid because he's from, I'm being careful not to even mention Pontotoc. Not going to overpay for a kid because he's from Mississippi, because that takes away from the budget elsewhere.
Yeah, right or wrong, he is not going to get anywhere close to overpaying for freshmen. He will absolutely let them go elsewhere and figure it out. It's just not a priority. Well, it's an anti-priority because it allows you to spend in other places.
And I think they've gotten
right or wrong.
Yeah, and I think that's right. But I mean, it's working. They're winning. I mean, they went 10-3 last year. The year before that, they went 11. What was 11-2? I mean, they're winning.
Yeah.
They look like a 8 to 10 win team this year. They're winning. It works. I think people inside that building will tell you they've only kind of made an emotional buy one time in the portal. It was with Juice Wells, and it backfired.
Yeah, they overspent and got in on him and had a hard time getting off
And
of him.
And it wasn't a criticism of him. It's that you spent all this money on him that therefore you didn't have to fill some other voids. You've got to go, and sometimes you've just got to put valuations on things, and you got to buy some of the things at Target. Got to buy some of your wardrobe at J. Crew, you know.
Well, and it's one of the problems right now with just trying to put a roster together in college football is offensive linemen. Because you can't, in my opinion, I talked about this on Saturday night's show, I think, before you got there, you cannot just simply go out and portal 5 offensive linemen every year and have the continuity to win in the SEC. It doesn't work. You've got to develop some high school offensive linemen. However, at the same time, they're so damn expensive at the elite level that if they bust, you aren't justified to spend that money in any capacity with what they cost. So offensive line, related to what you've always talked about, which is defensive lines are only getting better. Kids aren't playing offensive line at the same clip versus other positions in other sports. Because of all these things combined and the scarcity in relation to the finances, I mean, it's a wonder that anybody can block. I mean, it is absolutely the next problem throughout college football that has arrived right now. I mean, this isn't an Ole Miss problem. Like we continue to say, yeah, Ole Miss. Look, two things. Look, they were not good on Saturday. They were better than they're getting credit for being. I will say that after looking at a lot of PFF stuff and some advanced stats, they had 700 yards of offense. They weren't as completely incompetent as people were kind of making them out to be from Saturday. Some of that is how the game started and just some sort of internal bias on what you were expecting from an offensive line standpoint. Yeah. But throughout college football, if you watch any games, it is a bear to try to block the front sevens and to protect quarterbacks in this era.
So 2 thoughts. One, I don't know that we're giving enough credit so far to the development of Bryson Sanders. Mm-hmm. Not for the development from a coaching staff standpoint, but on his part. I did a big story. It was my first day at 24/7 Sports. So August the 1st, if you want to go back and find it, where he talked about the discipline that he takes with his diet and things of that nature. I mean, Bryson, I thought Bryson played really well Saturday night. And going into the offseason, his was a decision they had to make, I mean, because he went in, he wanted to stay, loves Ole Miss, his sister's at Ole Miss, he wanted to stay, but I think he wanted some assurances that the coaching staff believed in him. Not that, hey, you're going to hand me the starting job, but do you believe in me? And had they said, well, whatever, I mean, he would have had options elsewhere. I have pretty good sourcing on that. Number 2, we had A.J. McCarron on yesterday on McCready and Siskey, and he was talking about the right side, I believe, of Alabama's offensive line, it being just a massive problem. This is quickly becoming a major story that nobody tells because it's complicated, it's nuanced, and it's kind of difficult. It's uncomfortable to dive into all of it, but it's offensive line play is becoming a problem in football, period. The sport. And you're seeing it at the college level now. It's a problem that bleeds up. I think you'll start to see it at the NFL level fairly soon. I had a professional offensive lineman reach out to me and tell me that I was right. The McCready-Siskey show, for all its flaws or whatever, has a good bit of reach in the football world. And I had someone reach out to me and say, you're right. And so it's becoming
go ahead.
It's a big problem at the college level. You just don't have that many to choose from. The skill level on the defensive side is higher than it's been before. Defensive coordinators are very good, and it's becoming an issue. So, I agree with you. You can't just go to the portal and go, we're going to go get 5 offensive linemen, bring them in and fix it. Because if they're good, the schools that have them are going to overpay to keep them, And if they're good and they get in the portal, the bidding is going to be extravagant. It's going to be hard to get those guys. I mean, it's my belief, like, for example, that Ole Miss paid a pretty penny for Patrick Kudus.
I did not listen. I have not listened to McCready and Siskey yesterday. Obviously, Neil was because he was on the show. Snoop says PFF got fired yesterday by AJ McCarron. Let me clarify my PFF comments. Is that I do not pay any attention whatsoever to their grades. There are media outlets out there that put their grades out, and that is asking for trouble and incorrect. And PFF, as good as they are in some ways, they have no idea what someone is actually trying to do in the majority of the time. So the grades are complete bollocks if you want to go that way with it. However,
AJ,
they do keep track of. Go ahead.
AJ's comment, Chase, for context, was about the preseason rankings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever. However, snap counts, analytics on time to throw, where balls went, pressures, those type of things that give you simply advanced stats that we can't get anywhere else. PFF is still very valuable, and that's what we try to use at Rebels 24/7 throughout the week to give you greater insight into a player or a system. The grades are the last thing that I have any interest in from a PFF standpoint. I find that more trouble than it's worth, and frankly, a bit of lazy content from that standpoint. So no, it's not the grades that I'm talking about.
Well, and piss coaches off. Go publish a bunch of PFF grades.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You're asking for a problem when you reference that in a press conference. You go, yeah, but PFF said this dude was blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay. Great.
Yeah.
We also wait till Monday. I know I was asked a couple times on Sunday about snap counts. We wait till Monday because they change. They get looked at initially, and then they get looked at again by somebody else hours after that. So if you do it on Sunday, you're going to have some corrections or some mistakes that are not accounted for. That's why by Monday morning it is stabilized and we have a final product out there. So it's not a race. I'm waiting on corrections to be made is the reason for the Monday time on that. Just in general, what was AJ's mood yesterday? What did he say?
Oh, I mean, AJ's a happy human being. AJ lives a pretty charmed life. He's made a lot of money playing professional football. He's married to his college sweetheart. He has lots of kids. He's a happy person. He works for CBS now, doing some work. He was very frank. I mean, he talked about Alabama's effort. There were guys that didn't play hard, that played kind of scared. He's very critical of Ryan Williams, the heralded wide receiver. Said that he didn't hustle across the middle of the field sometimes. And I mean, he was very critical. Look, the people around the Alabama program are really critical about things beyond the loss. I mean, there's rumblings about stuff that's happening around that program and inside that program that if they're true are going to be problematic.
Yeah, DeBoer's body language, his words, it just doesn't inspire a ton of confidence right now, anywhere near relative to what the expectations and demands are in that program.
I didn't see the whole press conference yesterday because, covering one press conference is plenty. But I saw about a minute and a half of DeBoer's where it was rough.
Yeah. Shaker Jack, thanks for the super chat. Says kids don't want to play OL anymore. No, you're right. That is a thing.
It's not just that, but yes, it is that.
It's part of it.
OL doesn't play 7-on-7 all summer. It's different. And then look around the country at some trends. There are so many kids now who play baseball year round. That big first baseman on the high school team that plays baseball year round, the generation ago, he was an offensive tackle in the fall. He plays baseball now. There's so many kids who pitch year round. Baseball is a year-round sport. They have fall ball. The kids like 12, 13-year-olds are playing club travel ball all year long. They take a break in the winter, Chase. They play till November. They stop around Thanksgiving and Christmas, come back late January, early February, and by the late February, they're in tournaments all spring. The growth of high school soccer, the growth of high school lacrosse, all of those sports are taking players. I mean, I use this example. It's not a, it's, I know baseball's the better example. I can speak to the soccer one though. I mean, I watched my son's group play at OHS, and there were 30 kids out there that a generation ago, 20 of them at a minimum would have played high school football. Mm-hmm. None of them play high school football. They play soccer year round. Lacrosse is a major sport growing. It's big in Memphis, but it's huge on the East Coast all the way up into Atlanta. Huge sport. So there are kids that a generation ago would have played football that don't play football.
Yep.
I had this experience with me. I guess this was 2016. It was the week of the Sugar Bowl, the Hugh Freeze, Laramie Tunsil, Chad Kelly Sugar Bowl. My wife came down to spend a couple of days with me, and we went to the movie in New Orleans. We went to see the Concussion movie. Can't remember the name of it. Carson was 9 at the time. She said he's not playing football. And she didn't say it like, hey, I don't really want him playing football. He's not playing football. Think she was the only woman with the 9-10-year-old son who's just put her foot down and said he's not playing football? I bet not. And now it's just so you have a generation that is piled up over years. That's at least 10 years of kids doing other things, the growth of travel ball in all sports. Baseball, I mean, there's little boys across the street from me that play baseball all year. Mm-hmm. Look at how hard it is to make the OHS baseball team. I mean, it's damn near impossible. Why is that? Because there are a lot of really good players. Shit, I bet you could field 3 varsity teams at Oxford.
Yeah.
And you could take the worst of those 3 teams and it could go win Class 3A. That's a lot of baseball players. Those kids don't play football because if you want to play baseball, you got to play year-round. You want to be competitive in soccer? You want to win a starting spot at a place like Oxford or Tupelo or Hernando? In this state, you have to play soccer year-round. Because I can stand out there as someone who's never played soccer in my life, and I can say he plays club, he plays club, he doesn't play club. I'd get it right every time.
Yeah.
And those kids don't play. They don't play football now.
Strings made a lot of good points. I want to go through that a little bit here after the break. We'll come back in a second and we'll do that. If we do that, I'll tell you about the firm located in Oxford, founded by Ole Miss alum Brian Hayden. As I mentioned yesterday, sponsoring our internship program. It's been a big deal for me, for us, to get some young voices, to learn from them, to get them involved in our podcast and our website. We'll be announcing some new names on that here soon. But with the firm, they service the entire SEC footprint. Proud Liberty Mutual and Safeco Insurance agency representative. The firm is your solution for home and auto insurance, commercial, agricultural insurance, as well as retirement planning, tax strategies, and more. They do it all. Schedule a consultation by calling 662-236-1101 or emailing staff@thefirmsouth.com. That's 662-236-1101 or email staff@thefirmsouth.com.
We're presented by the College Corner. The Kentucky game is a wear red game. Plenty of polos and tees in stock. More than 4,000 square feet of the best Rebel gear in Oxford. So don't fight the traffic on the square or Jackson Avenue. Instead, come to their new location at the Oxford Commons across from the new Chick-fil-A. Plenty of parking. Their staff will have you in and out on your way to the Grove, to the stadium in no time. Got 3 home games coming up in the next 3 weeks. You got Arkansas, then Tulane, then LSU. So you need to get your gear in order. If you're not visiting Oxford, it's okay. Stop by the other 2 locations, the Ridgeland store by Fleet Feet, the Flowwood location by Half Shell. You can always visit collegecornerstore.com. We're also sponsored by Kaiser Flooring. They'll be in my house later today, ripping out some carpet or putting in some flooring upstairs. I'll update you as it goes. So far, it's been an incredible experience. Great communication. They've been super helpful. They'll do the same thing for you in your house as well. They've got everything that you're looking for, certified installers, wide range of options. They even do showers. So wherever you stand in your home, stand confidently thanks to the specialist at Kaiser Flooring. Visit Kaiser Flooring in Oxford or Batesville, or check them out online at kaiserflooring.com. And please make sure you tell them that you heard about them on MPW Digital. When you work with Argent Wealth's 401k advisory services, you gain a valuable advisory team and time-saving resource that will help you develop and maintain a solid strategy for your retirement plan. They're committed to providing you with the personalized attention and involvement that you want and need. Their goal is to help you manage your 401k plan properly and ultimately improve your employees' retirement readiness. So call Argent Wealth's 401k advisory services team today. It's myargentwealth.com. We're also brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. John's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows John to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits simply not available to other travelers. Get in touch with John, give him some parameters, give him a budget, and he will help you give options to create a special trip that makes a lifetime of unique memories. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. And get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com.
Podcast also brought to you by New Albany Pharmacy and Solutions. That's newalbanypharmacy.com, 140 Fairfield Drive in New Albany. Contact them 662-539-7777. Family-owned pharmacy with excellent service, wide range of gifts for all ages, as well as home decor, jewelry, and more. Tell them you heard about them from MPW Digital. Get 15% off any non-medical purchase. So again, family-owned pharmacy, newalbanypharmacy.com. New website giving you all the information. Fairfield Drive, 662-539-7777. Look, a lot of things here. I mean, I'm seeing Nash, some other guys on the stream, and I mean, it's small, but again, it only takes like one reason, one thing, and a couple of these I found sort of, I guess you know them, but you don't really think about it. Says Nash says as someone who played offensive line in high school, you get a terrible deal. The only time you get talked about is when you suck. But man, when you just run through a dude's face, it's the best feeling ever. I figure most of them, there's plenty of people out there that feel that way. Also says when you pass every play, you have to take the hit instead of giving it, and it sucks. And teams throw the ball constantly right now. I never really thought about that angle, but you are absorbing the contact at a much higher percentage versus run blocking, which would be you somewhat delivering the blow and lessening it on yourself. Pure physics. So that's
Yeah.
something I had not really considered. You're waiting for that really talented defensive lineman to come at you.
Yeah, and I'm look, I played football. I'm not anti-football. When I do this, I always will get someone will email me with why do you talk bad about football or whatever. I'm not talking bad about football. I'm just making an observation. It's one that other people have made as well. It's becoming, I think, and I said this on McCready and Siskey yesterday, I think it's going to be the new challenge for offenses moving forward is you're going to have to adjust offensive schematics and such to account for the fact that often you have an offensive front that cannot block the defensive front. It won't be as simple as O's and X's. The O won't beat the X.
A couple of the things here. Yeah, they've done a really good job getting targeting out of the game. You really don't see it anywhere near to the clip that we used to, for the most part. That has
No,
worked. Whether
it's
you
worked.
like it or not, it has worked. And then
It was
the data defends what Big Ben is saying here, which is actually true, is that high school football is perfectly fine. It very rarely leads to bigger issues. It's as you get any level beyond that is where the collisions become very problematic potentially.
yeah.
So, um, I do think that's what happens sometimes. Everybody takes all football into the same account, whereas that's not anywhere near the case. Um, just straight thinking about it. I mean, duh, bigger, faster, stronger, collisions, more, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I mean, I've told you before. There's a difference standing on a college sideline and standing on an NFL sideline. I
yeah,
mean, the NFL.
doors. I mean, you're exactly right. I just refuse to go down any part of that conversation today. But yes, I agree with you. So let's see.
I mean, it's just true.
Yeah. Back to Lane. That was it. He mentioned he talked around two injuries. Again, talked about Calzada. I've got a story up this morning at Rebels 24/7 about the Kentucky quarterback in his first start in Lexington, which was not very good. Didn't get helped. Three drops. Had some different things, but at the end of the day, you're having to really dig for many positives, even from some advanced analytics standpoint. This was fairly revealing. And again, go read the story. I've got a lot there. I went into kind of his rushing, his passing, a lot of stuff. Kentucky only kept him clean on 17 of 25 dropbacks. He was pressured on 8 of 25, which is not a very good percentage at all for an offensive line. However, he was holding the ball way too long. He was holding the ball on average a second and a half longer than Austin Simmons did in week 1 against Georgia State. He was 0 for 4 on passes that traveled more than 20 yards and 1 for 3 on passes that traveled 10 to 19 yards. I mean, everything that he even did in the limited sample size was in the middle of the field and inside 10 yards. He just did nothing down the field, even though they really tried. His average depth of throw was actually longer than or farther than Simmons, but he did not complete any of those. Yeah, he took on average. Again, not the most, on average. He was taking 3.78 seconds to deliver the football on Saturday. That is not good. That is not the answer here.
I, I would not. I would not think that that would be the path to having success against the Ole Miss defensive front.
No. They also ran very little play action. He was just kind of back there the whole time. Nothing to sort of change eye level at all. Again, one game, Toledo might look completely different against Ole Miss. It's the sample size is so small. I'm hesitant
Yeah,
here, but
yeah, you have to be because there's not enough to go on. I mean, it's one opponent. You don't know whether they looked at it and said, "Hey, we don't think they can score enough to beat us. Let's not show anything." I don't think that's the case, but if you told me that were the case, I'd be like, well, that logically makes sense. And it worked. I mean, Toledo didn't score many points. Um, if you told me that, hey, they were, some of the spin out of there was they were real close on a few plays. And if you change a couple of those, it looks different. Sure. I mean, you can do that with damn near everybody, but sure. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, look, I think Ole Miss wins and wins handedly Saturday. I do. I know that the past history thing, and you know me, I'm not big on that. I don't think it matters. Um, Frankly, I don't think the whole last year thing matters that much for either team. Both teams have brought in so many new faces. I mean, Ole Miss has 4 returning starters from last year's game. Probably going to mean a whole lot to a handful of people watching on TV who were like, I want revenge. I mean, TJ Daugherty said this means more to him. I get it. He was on the field last year, but I mean, this doesn't. PJ Wilkins and Patrick Kudus didn't play in that game last year. You know what I mean? I mean, those guys, it's just, I think this is schematics and talent. I just think Ole Miss is going to win. I think Ole Miss is better than them. I don't think Calzada is going to be able to pick apart what I've seen, and you've probably looked at it more. I thought Kentucky's secondary was really good. I think that will be the challenge for Austin Saturday. I don't think he's going to have receivers running just free the way that he had against Georgia State. But at the same time, I don't know that Kentucky has the defensive front that it had a year ago. That defensive front a year ago, for all of the talk about Ole Miss not being ready or the schedules or whatever, Ole Miss
Kentucky was really good in the area where Kentucky had the biggest. I mean, Ole Miss's weakness fit right into Kentucky's strength,
yeah,
and it was the
Ole Miss
perfect matchup in that way.
So what we were talking about, Ole Miss's O's last year couldn't block their X's.
Yes.
Schematically, I'm sure on the blackboard it worked, but they couldn't block the big guy. And there was another guy that they couldn't block him. And so they were consistently disrupting everything. It was the first game where you went, oh, running game's going to be a problem. He got exposed quickly. I mean, for all of the talk about the fourth down throw and the fumble, and I get why we talk about that. Those were huge plays. But there was a whole lot of offense that got bogged down because they couldn't block the interior guys.
Yeah, it's what allowed it to even come down to a play or two for those to be relevant in any capacity. That's what actually happened, was those. And I mean, we could Bruce right. There's zero excuse for Ole Miss to lose that game, and that was also the case last year for the most part. So we'll see.
Sure. But there was a fundamental matchup issue.
It screwed Georgia up too. Again,
Georgia
found a way, but it was a 1-point game, 2-point game, whatever the hell it was.
Look at Georgia when they played Ole Miss. They couldn't block Ole Miss's defensive front.
Yes.
That game was decided, like most games, boys and girls, in the trenches. I mean, everybody got excited about, the environment in Oxford and Austin Simmons' drive, and I get all of that stuff. But that game got decided in the trenches. Georgia couldn't block Ole Miss. And frankly, they couldn't block Kentucky, and it's why they almost lost that game.
Yeah, that big number 0 for Kentucky last year, he was a hoss in the middle. I forget his name, but
he was terrific. He was a problem all day. They struggled with him. He made a lot
pointing out 3 former Auburn quarterbacks still playing football: T.J. Finley, Robbie Ashford, and Zach Calzada. And Auburn was the second stop for all of those guys.
Yeah,
none of them signed out of high school with the Tigers. How'd Barry and Brown play tonight?
He played pretty well. It had the catch that was the big controversial catch that got overruled that would have put him at the 1.
Yeah.
Where if that's not a catch, I don't really know what is a catch other than the obvious, but he's good. Look, LSU's good now. I mean, I've learned not to say anything like that because if you say a team's good and then they lose, that's all anybody remembers. But LSU Clemson looked like a heavyweight fight. It was a heck of a game. I told you that it was one of those games where if I could have been at home just sitting there watching a beer, I would have really enjoyed that game. Because I didn't care who won. I was just interested in it. But I was watching on mute on my computer while also writing and watching a game in front of me. So it was very difficult to really focus on the LSU game.
Yeah, it's not getting into it, but I told Neil, I mean, I watched it on tape delay at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was kind of like just kind of staring at it, and was like, okay, right, yeah. And it was a good game. It was like, yeah, all right, fine.
No, it was a great game. I mean, it was two teams that have a lot of talent, 2 teams that are very much invested in winning, 2 teams that have a legitimate shot to make the college football playoff. Going back and forth in a great environment. I've never been to a game there. It's very obvious that it's a fantastic environment. And LSU's a veteran team. They weren't intimidated by the environment at all, and they both threw some punches at one another.
Midwest Picker, is Ole Miss a better football program than Alabama today? You definitely have you understand who you are so much better than Alabama today, and I don't think the resources are that different in this era. Fairly similar.
Okay, so the word better would be one that would be super.
That's a weird word.
Is Ole Miss a more efficient football program today than Alabama? Yes.
Yes.
Is Ole Miss a football program that has a much clearer idea of of what it is than Alabama is today? Yes. Does Alabama have more raw talent than Ole Miss? Probably.
Sure.
Sure. But a lot of that talent is young, inexperienced. A lot of Ole Miss's talent is more mature. So the word better, you could really have a long debate about better, but they're run differently, and Ole Miss is far more efficient.
Look, college football is all about money and NIL and potential based off revenue or resources, sorry. However, again, you go way, way, way down, but the number two thing is you know who you are and you know what your identity is and you know what you're trying to do. That's the extra secret sauce after you have money or you don't. And Alabama doesn't know who it is right now. Can't figure it out. New era, I don't know. They're swimming. They're expecting
Uh,
this previous regime, and that's not doable.
and didn't we always know, in fairness to everyone, didn't we always know that nobody wanted to be the guy that replaced Nick Saban?
Yeah.
I mean, beyond everything else, no one's walking into that office and going, I'm going to be better than the guy before me. So by nature, that means you're going to fall off. The question is, how steep will the fall be? And like I said yesterday on McCready and Siskey, and it rings true, they dominated for so long, kind of obnoxiously, if we're honest. They dominated for so long that it's going to be a minute before beating them doesn't just feel really good.
Oh, there's no doubt.
And so, you know, like Moscona, and I love Matt. He's funny. I mean, I would never do the stuff he does, but it was funny yesterday. And he's going to get tons of views. And he goes out in the field and gets on the white horse and puts on the Warwick Dunn Florida State jersey and just pours salt in the wound. And the truth is, they're 5-5 in their last 10 games.
Yes.
And they have a massive, people don't understand how big the media contingent is there, how much spotlight on them. And man,
I
when
don't remember. I don't think you were on the call yet. I don't remember the stat, but there was some stat about Alabama under Saban and DeBoer, and I don't really care what the stat is, as far as like the exact minutia of whatever they were talking about. But it was something about losing to underdogs or unranked teams or something. I don't know. DeBoer was 4-4. Saban was 138-2.
Yeah.
Whew.
But let me say, in
Whew.
defense of Kalen DeBoer, let me defend Kalen DeBoer for a minute. Let me defend Kalen DeBoer for a minute.
I know.
And Nick Saban, he got mad at me when I did this in Mobile. To his credit, got mad to my face, which I respect. I respect the to the face part so much. But you know, a Dodge Charger, a little bit of cash, and hey, we're gonna get you to the league doesn't go as far today as it did then. And so Alabama doesn't have, I'm telling you, Alabama doesn't have the deep NIL pockets that Texas has, that Ohio State has, that Michigan has. They're not in that world. It's not like that there. And so, and from a corporate standpoint, if you run a business in the state of Alabama, you could give quietly under the table to Alabama, but you can't do it in a public way if you're not going to give to Auburn as well. And if you're in Birmingham, you have to at least do something for UAB because there's a pretty big UAB contingent of alumni and such there. You want their business. Everybody's money's the same. So I think Alabama's going to take a minute to figure out where they fit in this. And the truth is, in this, the what Dan Lanning described is not a particularly advantageous situation for Alabama.
Oh, look, we're we're on the same page here because it's a different era. It's a different situation. Alabama can still be a upper tier program that competes for national championships, but they're never going to be what they were. They weren't going to be what they were under Saban either had he stayed. It wasn't completely ridiculous that he got out. He knew what he was doing and why he got out. But I'm defending DeBoer too That doesn't change the Alabama stakeholders and fans' expectations. By God, they expect Nick 2012. So that's their perception. And by God, there's no way to hit it no matter what. It's just who they are. Okay.
No, it's always been that way. I mean, it's
So we
always
watch
been.
it now where they're trying to figure out a way to basically, pin some sort of felony on him to get rid of him at this point.
It was
So,
one of the reasons that my show in Mobile, A, did so well, and B, got me fired. I didn't understand it. And I grew up an Alabama fan. Both of my parents have degrees from Alabama. I grew up cheering for Alabama, but I didn't grow up in the state.
yeah,
I didn't understand how big it is there.
I know.
It's everything there. It's such a part of the culture. And so the expectation is that you are a dominant program because the people there demand it. And even if it's not, they demand it. And even if rationally it shouldn't be, they demand it. It's a hard job. But look, he knew, or he should have known, what he was walking into.
Not a secret.
He's going to walk away, however it ends, with generational wealth.
He took the job with Nick Saban having an office in the building and sitting up in the skybox watching him coach. Okay. I mean, if that's what you want, go ahead. But you get all the positives and all the negatives from doing so. And he's experiencing the low part of that right now. There's no doubt about it. If anything, Nick Saban's legacy continues to get better because he didn't lose any games every week. He's out in the middle of the public and in there and everything else, and he ain't losing.
Well, in the era that Saban operated, he was the best.
Yeah.
And this is why I hate comparing eras. Like, compare Babe Ruth to Barry Bonds. Well, you can't.
Different era. Yeah.
In the era that Saban existed in, he was the best. He won a national championship at LSU, and had he stayed, he would have won more. He won multiple championships at Alabama, and realistically, had you put him at damn near anywhere, he would have won championships.
Yes.
So he was the best. Now that era's gone, and people can have the debate, and they will for perpetuity, about, well, how would Nick Saban have done in this era? It doesn't matter. He's not in that era. It's literally like the exercise last week where I said, well, if you put the 2025 Ole Miss team against the 2024 Ole Miss team, what would happen? I don't know, because they're never going to play. It's never happening. So when you do that about, well, he wouldn't have worked in that era, I don't know that. I mean, do we really believe Jackie Robinson wouldn't have been a great player today? Do we really believe Shohei Ohtani wouldn't have been a great player in the 40s?
Because my guess is if he came in today as a new hire, he'd have figured it out. It looked different, but he figured it out. My guess, but I don't know. Can't prove it either way. Could be wrong.
So it's why we love these debates, right? About who was the best, Sandy Koufax or Greg Maddux. It's like, well, I don't know. They never pitched against the same lineup, so there's no way to do any kind of comparison at all, other than just to acknowledge greatness. Saban was great, but he's not there anymore, and it took him a long time to replace Bear Bryant, who in his generation was the best.
Yeah.
It took him a long time. They went through a bunch of people. I was there. I watched it happen. And then they got Saban, and he dominated the sport for, I don't know what, at Alabama, 16, 17, 18 years, something insane. Won a bunch of titles. I mean, he was dominant. There's nobody questions it. My God. But he's gone now. And so you have to figure it out, and history says it's going to take a while.
Take our final break. Tell you about NE Spark, the fastest, most reliable fiber internet option available, whether you're streaming the Rebels or connecting with family and friends. They offer both residential and business packages with speeds up to 2 gigabits. That's up from 1 gigabit previously. To learn more, register for service. That's nespark.com. NeSpark. Get connected. Stay local.
We're brought to you by Parrish Brewing Company. I had the Oktoberfest, a couple of those last night. Fantastic. Don't go get them. I'm not even going to tell you where they are because I don't want you to go get them in Oxford. But if you are not in Oxford and you see the Oktoberfest from Parrish, it's great. It's a Marzen, beautiful color, great beer. Loved it. Pretty much proves what I've been saying all along, which is if you see Parrish Brewing Company on the label, whether you like sours or lagers or pilsners or IPAs or double IPAs or stouts, they've got something for you at Parrish Brewing Company. So wherever you look for beer, look for Parrish. I'll have a mailbag to you tomorrow. Can't believe today's already Tuesday. It's presented by Art Hayes of Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you. As a licensed agent with Sotheby's and a supporter of all things Ole Miss, Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously. So call and ask him how. 612-805-5929 or email art at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com. We're also brought to you by hoviedrygoods.com. You're looking for your new favorite Ole Miss hat. Grab a few here, Chase. Let's see. Just grab what I could grab. If you're looking for your favorite Ole Miss hat, Hovie Dry Goods is quality headwear that you'll love. You'll love to wear. Very comfortable. Your friends will be asking where you got them. Take a look at the collection of Ole Miss hats at hoviedrygoods.com. Got some of these here. This is the corduroy. There's one. If you've got friends in your life who are not Ole Miss people, you want to give a gift, Christmas gift or such, as an LSU one, for example, they've got those.
Lots of Auburn, Vanderbilt, Tennessee.
Auburn, Vanderbilt, lots of stuff here. So hoviedrygoods.com, HOVI drygoods.com.
Podcast is brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer medicine for your prescription the same time each month. Take care of you. One trip to the pharmacy, one delivery of everything you need when you need it with G&M. So again, whether that's in Holly Springs or in Oxford, 662-236-2222. Catching up in the stream, see if I missed anything. Bill made me laugh, said Mike Shula was my favorite Alabama coach. Hey, he won 10 games. He got to the Cotton Bowl and won 10 one year.
He did.
They played Texas Tech in that one. Was that right?
I can't remember. I know they played Texas Tech in the oh hell, I don't know. Beats me. That sounds right, but I can't remember.
I mean, Mike struggled with Orgeron, but got by him every time. But it was nail biters.
Yep.
He got it done.
I covered a couple of those.
Yeah, all three. He won by 3, 4, 3, 3, and 4. I think the kicker for Alabama was Jamie Christensen, maybe. He had a game-winning kick late in 05. 06 was the Ben Jarvis got stopped on like a 4th down in overtime or something, and Bama won in Tuscaloosa by like 3 in overtime, I believe. I think it was 06.
I think I covered that game. I can't remember.
Yeah, I was there. And then 07 was the red high heel Shea Hodge out of bounds catch down the sideline game, where if Ole Miss scores a touchdown, they win.
Oh yeah, I did cover that game. I was down on the Alabama sideline for that one.
Yeah, bad call by I forget the official's name in that game.
Yeah, that would have been Ole Miss's ball at the 4, I think.
Yeah, it'd been like first and goal from the 4, something like that.
Yep.
They ruled that it was illegal touching, and it wasn't, and called it back.
I remember I said that was a bad call on Mobile Radio. That didn't go over well.
They all thought it was a great call. They were in on that call.
Yeah. Objectivity is not super popular in the state of Alabama. One learns.
Are you going to flip it on if ULM's in the game in the third quarter on Saturday?
What time's that game?
I don't know. I mean, Bama's going to beat the hell out of them.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, if I'm someplace where I could turn it on, it's super close. Yeah. I mean,
it won't be.
But no, I mean, realistically,
they're going to get held. 6:45 Central.
Okay, so you know what's coming. I'm covering a game that starts at 3:30 Eastern in person. So I've got to get to the stadium, get my credential, get in. So we're talking a full 2 hours before the game. I'm covering a game. We'll go back to Central Time. Starts at 2:30. It won't end till 6. I won't finish writing until 7:30-ish. I'll be on your show until 8:15-ish. Then I've got to get back to the hotel. So I won't see shit. I will see Ole Miss and Kentucky. That's what I will see. I mean, my frame of reference on Monday's show will be, I was at Kroger Field. I can tell you about the game.
Here's what happened in Lexington.
Here's what happened in Lexington, and here's what they said. I mean, I just the other part, realistically, I just won't know. I won't see the early games, and I guess I'll get back, and if the late games are still winding down and there's something interesting, I might see that. But yeah, no, I won't. It's the funny part about what we do. Where people are like, I bet you see a lot of football. I'm like, not nearly as much as you do. You see a lot more football at home in your living room than you see as a beat writer covering a team in person.
Catching up on a couple super chats. Austin, appreciate you for following along every day in the super chat. I'll say this: before the game started last night, it looked like ESPN North Carolina was actively trying to advertise themselves for the SEC with its hype package. They'll be in the league soon. Yeah, we talked about that a little in the open. It definitely looked the part, if nothing else.
They'll be in one of the two leagues. It's inevitable.
Will Murphy, what about the ULM game this weekend, Neil? Is the ULM Monroe game a must win? Yeah, I would say Kalen might want to get a dub on Saturday in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, I
mean,
thought
they are. They're going to blow them out.
Yeah, if we don't beat Alabama, I'm demanding that we fire everybody. Absolutely. Yes. We got to win this game. It's a game that we go to Tuscaloosa.
It's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity to win. Done it before.
I feel like I'm just coming full circle here because I didn't even really make fun of it. I just pointed it out last week that the pumpkin spice lattes were coming to Starbucks on, I think, October 26th was the day that happened. Let you know here that the headline, pumpkin drinks spark record Starbucks sales. They said Monday it was the best ever sales week across U.S. company-operated stores after launching its fall menu last week. The record-setting week. What?
They kind of caught a break, didn't they? Because they launched their fall menu, and kind of around the country there was a cool front.
They got the false fall for the exact week they debuted the menu. The record-setting week comes after 6 straight quarters of same-store sales declines, underscoring the stakes for CEO Brian Niccol. Back to Starbucks turnaround plan. He's done a lot of stuff. He's gone back to the real coffee mugs if you're drinking inside the restaurant. Again, I don't follow a lot of business stuff, but there's been an inordinate amount of stuff on this podcast about Starbucks because when they hired him away from Chipotle, I was just really intrigued by it for some reason. So I've kept up with it throughout his tenure there at Starbucks since they grabbed him from Chipotle last September, who had been going pretty well at that point. So we'll see, but just pointing it out there. And then last thing, did you have you don't have you're out of this era from a kid standpoint, so you're probably going to have no freaking idea what I'm talking about when I say this. But have you even come across the stir from this K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, so it is an animated show on Netflix. Right now, like they're calling it a summer sensation, which certainly applies. It has 3 songs in the top 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart simultaneously. Oh. The last time that was accomplished, 1978, with a little movie called Staying Alive.
Ah.
Where 3 in the same place. K-pop Demon Hunters, a sequel, is going to come out. And it is currently the most watched movie on Netflix all time.
Oh.
This cartoon. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. It's hit everywhere. They had a limited release in theaters simply to make it eligible for whatever stuff you have to have eligible. It was in 1,700 theaters on its release, and it did $19.2 million over 2 days in only 1,700 theaters. They've advertised a sing-along, they've released like a sing-along version of the show or something, and it is now, yes, the most watched Netflix movie of all time. I was looking for the amount of watches. I think it's like 236 million or something since it released.
Is Carly into this?
She has watched it. Yeah, she's okay. Pretty into this. It surpassed Red Notice to become the most watched film in Netflix history. 236 million views.
How about that?
Yes.
Wow. No, I'd never heard of it, but I'm way past that stage.
Not your.
We're long gone. That's over. I mean, I told you, man, there were times I heard the Wiggles so much that I would be driving down the road and catch myself singing the Wiggles to myself. So it's probably like that.
It first got started in like 2021. I'm wondering if somebody sold it and decided it wasn't a good idea, and then ended up regretting that decision at some point over the summer. It's kind of like
Mm.
J.K. Rowling was turned down by 12 publishers before one finally grabbed Harry Potter.
Boy, it'd be tough to live with, wouldn't it? It'd
Big
be tough
mistake.
to live with.
Huge, as Julia said one time. Like, whoa, boy.
That'd be
The boss calls. He goes, "Hey, Ann, can you come in here for a minute? What was that manuscript that you said was crap about 6 months ago? Was it some of Wizards? Yeah, not crap.
you're fired.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh
God.
God.
No, I mean, it just takes one.
It's amazing what works and what doesn't and why and the whole thing. I mean, it really does. It's the world's a
Luck,
funny place. Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
stuff
100%.
that's completely out of your control. I mean, I wonder she didn't give up, because at some point she could have thought to herself, well, I must suck.
Well, that's true. You get enough rejection letters, you go, okay, well, never mind. Back to the drawing board. Done.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's easy to say shoot or shoot. Like, I always love that. Shoot or shoot. Well, I'll tell you what, you go shoot 8 threes in a row and miss them all, you're going to be sitting on the bench. I mean, there's going to come a point where the coach is going to pull you. It's not as simple as shoot or shoot. No,
I don't know who will be with me. I have not pitched it to my cohorts yet, but probably we'll do a watch party for Kentucky and Ole Miss. Ole Miss, please win this game on Saturday. Again, 2:30. We'll kick it off about 10 minutes before, something like that. And we'll all hang out and discuss the events happening there in Lexington. Neil will be at Kroger Field in Lexington for that one. So just a little heads up there as we get going. So appreciate everybody today. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the show, and the rest of the week a normal schedule for you. So hope you have a great day. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you again very soon.